The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, is on a thank you tour to the United States, and he met with Nigerians that supported him during the last election. This thank you tour is very, very important because what happened in the last election left a sour taste on the lips and the mouth of every Nigerian that came out to vote during the last election. So Mr. Peter Obi is on this tour to encourage them that the battle that they've undertaken is not going to be easy, but with their commitment is going to be a one battle in the near future. And I want you to take a seat, relax, get your popcorn ready, and enjoy this conversation with Mr. Peter Obi and Obi. It's a very, very interesting conversation. I'm going to be back at the end of this video for we're going to have a very, very versatile conversation regarding what Mr. Peter Obi is doing. And this thank you talk was attended by everyone. The man that is standing on your screen currently is a Ghanaian, so it's very, very interesting. So enjoy the conversation. See you at the end of the video.
Believe it or not, thank you very much. And I'm sure you saw. Sorry. Thank you for your kind comments. You actually set it up. And I'm sure you saw what happened to me in Ghana this year. I don't know whether you followed when I went to Ghana to for it, and the government had to stop it. Yes. Again, all I said to us, don't relent. We cannot. What I'm doing today, I've seen it all. If I didn't see it, I won't do it. I used to hear people are corrupt. But I can tell you, that's why I said it for Nigeria. We need to dismantle the criminality called Nigeria today. There's nothing left of it. It's a criminal country. And unless we start, so it's not corruption. Corruption maybe is where people decide to, but when it is a set up where everybody is doing everything and they have their own work. And to do it, there's a lot of things. It is you. It is us there. Even if it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's continue saying it's wrong. It is difficult to do. I can tell you. I get harassed every day. I get all sorts of things. This is I'm saying here. I'm going to tell you this. That what are you saying? Why are you saying this is bad? Why are you saying that is bad? Even when you want to do good, I just told you that I went to do and people say he's not supposed to do it. And this is school. School. And then nobody will want to receive you. And I came to give you something in school. Because if the principal received it, I was just telling them, this afternoon, I'm supposed to go to a school. Say, we can't go. No, there. Because it's a government school. If they go, they will remove the rector. But the rector said, come, let them remove me. I said, rector, you can't remove it because of me. It's a nursery school. They don't have anything. So it sees me giving, I go to all nursery schools around. When I became governor, no single school of nursing or midwifery or health sciences was accredited in the entire state. But I remember as a child that the first midwife or nurse in Nigeria was produced or came out of the school owned by the church in a church called Iyenu somewhere in Ogidi. So I wrote to the bishop. I said, I want to resuscitate this school. The bishop didn't believe me because he thought I was missing road. How can government come to him to say he wants to resuscitate it? Then people in office wrote me a memo saying that it's not owned by government. I cannot use government money for private things because the church is private. Just like they said I cannot give schools back to the church because they're private. say, what are you talking about? Why do you give them the money? They say, no, let's set up our own. I can tell you, by the time I left, I had a total of 12 schools of nursing, midwifery, and health sciences accredited, all owned by the church. The two are trying to do with the government, but not successful. Same thing happened with school. You hear our schools now doing well. We moved from number 26 to number 1 because we return school to the churches. All the prize we're winning in education now is those church schools. The ones owned by government are real one, even local. But they refused. So you have to quarrel with everybody. I quarrel with everybody. That was why I was impeached once. So I'm urging you to come. Let's continue telling them they're bad. They won't be happy with you. Because there is a corrupt system. I'm taking that because you took that. Corruption kills 3 things that makes a society. Say it every day, it keeps entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country. Because people are making money without enterprise. So you're not creating jobs. You're not doing anything. It gives professionalism. University professor in Nigeria is paid 400,000 naira. Every year, he earns if they pay him or her, he earns 4.8 million. 5 million naira a year. We bought a vehicle for legislators at 160 million. So if a university professor decides he wants to buy a similar car, which will give the legislator, I don't want to describe their background. Just imagine whatever you can imagine. That university professor requires 32 years of not eating, not spending anything to earn that type of money. It can't work. I told them in Boston yesterday that a professor in Harvard probably earn more money than governor of Massachusetts. Because I know that my dean in Kellogg, Professor Donald Jacob, told me when I was there that he earns more money than governor of Illinois. So it makes sense that you can now work out to be a professor. How can you be researching to be professor when the situation is like that? No. It gets hard. So you must dismantle it. You people are here working hard to earn a living. That is why when you send money home, somebody is the entitlement. So we will continue. And you're right, if Nigeria gets it right, other African countries will get it right. I used to tell people that one of those who today is always, in a way, support me is Obasanjo. But people don't even know that as president, I'm one of those he doesn't want to see. Because he has a lot of people from my state who are around. But whenever I go to him, say, Peter, let me tell you, Governor, nobody is happy with you. Nobody, everybody that comes here, nobody is happy. And I say, Mr. President, I didn't promise anybody happiness. I don't know why they always talk about happiness. When he left, I had a situation where again I come to Abuja. They say, oh, they've invited all the first ladies. But Peter, your wife is not there. You're the only person who don't have office of first lady. What is all this? And you're always causing confusion. I wasn't causing confusion. Nobody elected her. I'm the one who was elected as the governor. Two of us are close, but we can't have office of first lady. There's no office called office of first lady. Have you ever seen the governor of New York with office of first lady? No. And they will even create advisors for her. To advise her on what? How to live with me or how to do what? Bullshit cause confusion. So you now have a situation where the governor has a convoy, 20-something vehicle, and then first lady has 20-something vehicle going nowhere. It's creating confusion. So these are things, it became, as we want to change them, it became a problem. The same is what I do with for that, but they want to stop it. That's why they create confusion. My attitude is, don't worry, come and vote again. Support the vote again. And I'm going to tell you in Nigeria, don't worry about whether they will rig it or not. One day they will get tired of rigging it. And you could see every day it's getting to that. Just like the thing that by now I would have disappeared. Then one, then no office. And I'm worried about me who is no office. So don't listen to them. Why would the youth, how would they get involved? The youth month. It is your age, it is your time. The society we are building will take its revenge on you. All the money we are borrowing today is going to be paid. Go and check the bonds Nigeria, African governments are issuing today. They are payable in 2040, 2050, 2060. We won't be there, we will be gone. So it is for you to question what is this money being used. The Constitution of Nigeria said every borrowed money must be used for a visible, non-project. But nobody is asking that question. So we have over 100 billion debts from where Ambassador left of less than 10. We now borrowed over 100 without anybody knowing what it's went for. That is what is buying houses in America. And we must stop it.
Mr. Peter Obi said something while he was speaking. He said they thought that he was going to disappear after the election. But unfortunately for them, he did not disappear. He has been on their faces. He has been holding them accountable. He has been criticizing them constructively. And he has been visiting Nigerians, especially those that have been suffering the brunt of Tinubu's ill administration. And because of that, Mr. Peter Obi has received so much criticism for being on the faces of the government. Just recently, he was criticized for building a borehole. Imagine criticizing someone for giving water to people. Water is life. The reason why he built that borehole was because there was no water there. And it has been established that when Mr. Peter Obi built that borehole, it is the constituency of the Speaker of the House of Assembly, House of Representatives. Imagine the Speaker of the House of Representatives, his constituency does not have water. So many places in the north, like large majority of the people in the north, they suffer from lack of potable drinking water. And that is why you have the case of cholera outbreak in the north. It's being reported that some persons in the north even travel, they trek to as far as Niger Republic to get water. That's the reason why Mr. Peter Obi decided to give the water, and he was criticized for that. He said that the reason why they are angry with him is because he has decided not to disappear. Most politicians in Nigeria, that's what they do, especially after the election, they all disappear. Many people contested the presidential election with Mr. Peter Obi, but when you look at it today, they are nowhere to be found. They are nowhere to be found. It's only Mr. P2B that is always on the news. They only come out to write articles, but Mr. P2B is writing both articles, addressing the ills of the government, addressing where the government is wrong, and he is being seen physically. So this thing is actually troubling them, because Nigerian politicians, they are not familiar with this kind of game. Remember, Mr. P2B introduced a whole new scenario in our political landscape during the 2023 presidential election campaign. He brought in qualitative campaign, where he engaged the electorate directly. Like, there was a direct engagement with the electorate. The Nigerian politicians, they are not used to this kind of campaign. But while the election was, conducted, and it was evidently rigged against Mr. Peter Obi. For instance, in Rivers State, Mr. Peter Obi won that election, but INEC announced that Tinubu won that election. If you go to INEC IRF portal today as I'm talking to you, go to INEC IRF portal. It shows clearly that Peter Obi won in Anambra State, in Rivers State, but it was announced that Tinubu won in Rivers State. That's one of the glaring rigging that happened in that election. And again, when you look at the election proper, it was an election that was citizen driven, most especially the obedient movement. They were the one that sponsored Mr. Peter Obi campaign. The grassroots mobilization everywhere, the obedience were everywhere. Nigerians under the aegis of the obedience were everywhere supporting Mr. Peter Obi to ensure he become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That election was seen as viewed by many as a game changer election, because of the introduction of the electronic transmission of results. Everyone was expecting a transparent, free and fair election, and it got so many citizens buzzing for the election. You saw how they went all out during the PVC registration. They registered people to get their PVC. There was a sensitization program going on. This was carried majorly by the obedient, telling people to go and get their PVCs. And you also saw how INEC actually change a lot of persons why they didn't get their PVC. Many people did not get their PVC because INEC deliberately didn't want to release PVC to some set of persons. But actually the election came and people were buzzing. They went and voted. And on the moment the result was to be transmitted, it was said that the IRF portal had a glitch and it was shut down. But that was a calculative attempt to rig the election, and the election was rigged. And so many persons were demoralized. Nigerians were demoralized. You saw how so many of them burnt their voters' card, and they were all waiting for Mr. P2B to give them a go-ahead because they wanted to protest. That was a very silly reasoning from them. You don't expect Mr. P2B to come out and tell you that you should go and protest. P2B challenged that election in court and brought some other things, the forgery of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the drug case of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But then everything has already been planned ahead of time. The INEC, the judiciary, they've already been planned ahead of time. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu was announced as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And you all saw how everyone was quiet. And it's really, really dampened the morale, the spirit of Nigerians that were expecting something different in this election. I can tell you for a fact that many people have decided that they are not going to come out and vote in the next election. That is the case on ground. But yet, this is what Mr. P2B is doing this tour for. He's doing this tour to encourage Nigerians. Because you need to understand that what you are doing, you are fighting with an established system. There is already a system in place. Let me give you an instance. The former governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Baguda, was a bagman to Abacha. He was the one that helped Abacha to launder Abacha money. He became the governor of Kebbi State under APC. Today, he is the Minister of Budget and Planning under Tinubu administration. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway that is being built by a company called High Tech. Go and check the owner of the High Tech company. The owner of that High Tech company is what? Gilbert Chagri. When you read about Gilbert Chagri further, you will discover that he was also a bagman to Abacha. He helped Abacha launder the money, all the money that you're reading that is being repatriated back to Nigeria. He helped Abacha to launder that money. He was convicted by the US government for election manipulation. During the 2023 presidential election, Tinubu visited London and was seen with Gilbert Chogri. During the campaign, he was seen with Gilbert Chogri. Now, he won that election under a controversial circumstances. During the 2018 visit to Dubai, the climate change visit to Dubai, the delegate list, when you look at the delegate list, Gilbert Chogri was mentioned as a confidant to Tinubu. Same man that helped Abacha launder money, a confidant to Tinubu. Same Buguda that helped Abacha launder money, a minister of budget and planning under Tinubu. Now, it was reported that Abacha was able to launder that money via inflated contracts. Now, the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway that the federal government wants to build, that has led to the demolition, that they want to demolish the landmark beach, that project was conceived in 7 months. In the budget, the appropriation bill, that budget is captured as the Lagos-Port Harcourt highway. 500 and something million naira. That's how it was captured. Within 7 months, that project has been changed to the Lagos-Calabar highway, and it's going to cost 15 trillion naira. The whole budget of the 15 states of the 36 states of the federation is over 15 trillion naira. That means they are going to use 15 trillion naira to build that project. Now, there was no bidding for that project. It was a unanimous decision to hand it over to a single company, high-tech company, belonging to Gilbert Chagrin. The reason why they gave him that company, according to the minister then, it was that he is going to fund that project. After funding the project they will not tour it. There's going to be a toll gate. After using it for a toll gate, they will not return it to the federal government. But now it is being said that the federal government is going to sponsor 30 to 50% of that project. They did not allow competition to come into. They did not allow other companies to bid for that project. That High-Tech was going to sponsor the project himself. But now, the federal government is now being fingered in to sponsor that project. I hope you are putting one or two together in what is happening. So what Mr. Peter B is trying to tell Nigerians is that there is an established cartel. They will not want to relinquish their cartels. They will not want to relinquish their power easily to you. They are going to fight back. And many ways they will do that in is, number one, through voters' apathy. Trying to make you feel that your vote do not count. You saw what happened during the last election. There is a lot of voter apathy. People are complaining that they're not going to vote again, that their vote do not count. That is what they want. Because if your votes don't count, they will manipulate it. So this thank you tour that P2B is doing is to encourage Nigerians. Don't give up, because it is about your future. It is about your future. You heard when you talk about the bond that Nigeria is owing. This bond will be repaid in the 60 years' time. And all these people will go. They will no longer be there. It is these younger generations that are coming up that will pay for this bond. So are you going to fold your hands and watch them mortgage your future? Are you going to fold your hands and watch them sabotage your life? Bola Tinubu is close to 80 years of age. How long does he have to stay on this earth? Buhari, Atiku Abubakar. The people that are going to suffer the brunt of this decision they are making today is you and I. Nigeria is owing over $100 billion. Who are the ones that will pay that money? It is you that will pay the money. So they are doing all their calculations to ensure that you are being deprived of your voting right, so they can manipulate the election. Don't think they are going to relinquish that power. You saw what Nyesom Wike is fighting for in Rivers State. He's fighting for the structure in the university even after leaving office. That is to show you that these men, they don't want to leave, even at the detriment of Rivers politics. As long as there's chaos in Rivers State, he doesn't care. All he wants is that structure. So they are not going to relinquish it easily to you. You are the one that's going to fight. Look at what happened in Senegal. The youth said no. The person that won this election, the Jamayofaye that won this, was not even the person that was representing the party initially. It was Ibrahim Sonko that was representing the party. But the establishment jailed Ibrahim Sonko. They jailed him. Now this Jamayofaye was just like an assistant to Ibrahim Sonko. When he was jailed, they also jailed Jamayofaye. He was released few weeks to the election. But the Senegalese were determined that they are going to change the old order. This Jamayofaye, Ibrahim Sonko party have contested the election before and they did not win anything. They came back again. And the Senegalese said, no, it is time to take our future in our hand. It is time to change the narrative against all odds. Even when the president announced an indefinite suspension of the election, they went to the street and protested. Nobody told them to go and protest. But Nigerians were waiting for PWB to come and tell them to go and protest. You saw what happened in Kano. They wanted to overturn the election result in Kano. But the Kwankwasia movement people stormed the street of Kano. They gave a clue to the judge that if this election is overturned, this is what you're going to experience in Kano. That was what Nigeria needed. Go out there in the street peacefully, occupy everywhere. This is not what we voted for. This is not what we're expecting. This election has been compromised for the fact that the election result was not transmitted electronically. This election has been compromised and we are not going to take it. Never will not take it. You give them a clue of what is going to happen if this judicial process is compromised elsewhere. But Nigerians were silent. So Peter B is trying to encourage them, because the major problem we have in this country today is leadership problem. We have everything in abundance. Everything in abundance. But we need somebody that has the grit, the tenacity to make decisions that will favor the people. Not decisions that will favor the person himself and his associate. When you look at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidency today, it is a form of reward to everybody that have worked for him to become the president at the expense of Nigerians. That is not how it ought to be. That is what Mr. Peter Obi wants to change. So this thank you tour is to encourage the people. You saw how he toured the north, giving them boreholes, donating to the less privileged, eating with their marjories, and it triggered a lot of things in them because the Nigerian politicians are not used to this form of politics. And now he has taken it to the US because the people in the diaspora contributed hugely to P2B's campaign. Some of them returned back home during the election. They returned home to vote for him. Financially, they were so vibrant in sponsoring the campaign. 2027 election is coming. And just like Mr. P2B said, they will get tired of rigging. They will get tired of rigging. They will get tired of rigging. They can't continue forever. And the only way this will happen is when Nigerians stamp their feet on the ground and said, enough is enough. We must take back our country. The truth you need to understand, you need to tell yourself is that this country does not belong to you. It belongs to some privileged few. And they are using it at your own detriment. They are using it for their own benefit. They are using it for the benefit of themselves, their family, their associates, and their friends. For how long are you going to fold your hands and watch this being done? For how long are you going to fold your hands and watch your future and that of your born kids being sabotaged by greedy politicians? For how long? It is time for you to say enough is enough. Senegalese did it. What made you think Nigerians cannot do the same? We always make use of these excuses that Nigeria is not one. We are one. We are one. Nigerians, we are one. During the NSAS protests, Nigerians were one. Whenever something happened to particular Nigerians are only one. So it's time for us to be united in our political aspiration and realize that these people are not doing us any good. President Muhammadu Buhari was a president. Did he favor the Northerners? No. Tinubu is the president. Is he favoring the Southwest? No. It's not about where the person come from, but about who is willing to put in the work and do the right thing. Thank you for watching. Ensure you subscribe, drop your comment reaction, like the video, and share. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.
Remains the best continent in this world today. The only thing it lacks is leadership. I told the students in Harvard yesterday, said it again, I said, listen, how do you compare Africa with China? No. We have 10 times their land space. China is just 9.6 thousand square kilometers. Africa is 30,000 plus. So we have 3 times their land, and yet we have the same population, 1.4 billion, 1.4 billion. And I said, let me take you people back to just 30 years ago, 1994. And if you look at 1994, Africa had a better. There goes my question. Excellency, Brother Peter Obi, God bless you. My name is Ben Dutse Malone. I am from Ghana. I wanted the Eagles to win, but it didn't happen. And I will not mention your love here. Even though I'm from Ghana, for some reason, I get easily mistaken. Oh, you are deciding I'm Igbo already. Okay, so let me say Kadusa. Let me just put it this way. I spent 12 years at the BBC in London. If you've had any of the programs, I probably produced or presented them in a Pan-Africanist way. I'm a strong believer in what Nnamdi Azikiwe did with Kwame Nkrumah. We are here in the United States. Lincoln University in Pennsylvania is not far away. When Nnamdi Azikiwe left the US, mentoring Nkrumah, he came and set up a newspaper, not in Onitsha, your base, but in Accra. And as a Pan-Africanist Christian, I'm of the strong view that Ghana's success is still meaningless unless Nigeria is up there. We may joke about Nigeria. We are copying many things from Nigeria, whether in terms of Christianity or politics.